The atmosphere of a quiet family evening at the park was shattered in February 2026 when an ordinary recording turned into a nightmare. Moises was filming his young daughter playing, unaware that something was watching them from the nearby tree line. A sudden, jarring movement a few meters away caught his attention, pulling his focus toward the dark shadows of the park. What the camera managed to capture in that moment is something simply terrifying, turning a peaceful memory into a chilling piece of evidence.
No te vas a golpear en la resbaladilla cuando te bajes.
¿Me bajo?
Sí.
Ah. ¡Ey, Dana!
Mira. Espérate. Dana, ven. Vengan a pecar. Mira, cheque. A ver, miren el árbol aquel. No, la neta, te lo juro que yo miraba algo. Como que se asomaba. No. Irga, sí se miró. ¡Hey! ¿Quién está ahí? Yo sí miré, alcancé a ver algo. Mira, ¿te checaste? ¿Viste?
¿Qué es eso?
A ver.
Ay,
Oh, mira.
¿Qué es eso? Ay, no.
¡Hey! ¡Lujo! ¡Asómate!
Behind the trunk, a pale face emerges, staring directly at Moises and his family with large, dark eyes and no visible mouth. The manifestation peeks out several times, never showing its full body, remaining partially anchored to the shadows. While some skeptics argue the family's nervous laughter at the end suggests a hoax, the visual of that white, distorted head is difficult to shake. It watches with a predatory stillness that feels far too deliberate for a simple trick of perspective. If you looked up from your phone and saw a faceless shape peering at you from the darkness, what would your first instinct be? Tell us in the comments if you believe this scary video was real or just an elaborate park prank. Unexpected shadows drifting through the hallways and objects shifting without human intervention began in July 2025, and Hunter could simply not ignore them any longer. One evening, a sudden movement near the front entrance caught his attention, prompting him to start recording immediately. What his camera captured through the frosted glass of the doorway is quite terrifying. It serves as a reminder that some reflections might actually be something far more sinister. The results were disturbing, and the evidence is truly hard to ignore when you see it for yourself.
What in the actual hell? There's literally...
A dark silhouette is visible through the glass, with a clearly defined head and shoulders looming on the other side. While it might be tempting to blame nearby trees or streetlights, the shadow moves its head from side to side with a terrifyingly deliberate motion. Hunter immediately opens the door to confront the figure, only to find the porch completely empty. There is no one there, and no physical object nearby that could have cast such a distinct moving form. This unexplained footage suggests that what we perceive as a trick of the environment could actually be a manifestation. How would you handle seeing a person staring at you through your door, only to find nothing but cold air outside? The sanctuary of home can become a source of dread when the boundary between the inside and the outside begins to blur. In March 2026, Sarah was simply spending time alone in her house, moving through the routine stillness of the evening. When she walked into her living room, a sudden movement against the glass immediately caught her attention. What she captured on her phone is a genuinely unsettling discovery that suggests something from another world was attempting to find a way inside.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Fucking looks like a hand. A freaking face. Like two hands and a face. What the fuck is this? What the fuck?
Pressed against the glass, two distinct sets of handprints are visible, resembling skeletal hands that appear to be sliding downward. This entity leaves behind a visceral mark with long, thin fingers that look entirely inhuman against the dark night. As Sarah looks closer, the impression of a distorted face becomes visible, seemingly imprinted into the glass itself, as if something was desperate to cross the threshold. The realization that these markings were left from the outside makes the footage even more disturbing. How would you react if you found physical evidence of a supernatural intruder on your own window? Tell us in the comments if you believe this is real or just a clever hoax.
Two hands and a face. What the fuck is this?
Arriving home from work was a routine part of life for Bella in February 2026. But that routine was shattered by a presence lurking in the shadows. Everything appeared perfectly normal as she pulled into her driveway, yet an oppressive stillness hung over the neighborhood. From the thick darkness near the edge of the property, a figure emerged that left her completely paralyzed. What her security camera managed to record is simply terrifying, capturing a moment that defies every natural law of movement. The footage reveals an apparition moving across the asphalt on all fours with predatory speed. While the dark clothing suggests a person, its face emits an incandescent glow that makes it impossible for Bella to identify any features. This light seems to focus forward, scanning the environment as the figure shifts from a human-like walk to a disturbing crawl. Seeing a silhouette with a radiant, faceless head would leave anyone in a state of shock. Bella remained petrified as she reviewed the recording, witnessing an entity that mimics human form while retaining something deeply unnatural. What would you do if you realized a glowing figure was tracking your movements from the dark? Tell us if you believe this was an intruder. If you love the thrill of the unknown, subscribe for more spine-chilling content just like this. There's more to see, so let's get back to the clips. Spending a quiet evening watching television is how most people decompress. But for one man, the peace was abruptly replaced by something supernatural. Luther was at home, completely unaware that the stillness of his living room was about to be violated. A sudden shift in the atmosphere signaled that he was no longer alone, turning a mundane moment into a visceral encounter. What follows is a look at one of the clearest pieces of poltergeist evidence ever captured on a personal device.
None. Late fees, non-existent.
I have access to every single game I could possibly imagine.
Go to Gamefly.com now. Click the joystick in the top right corner. Enter Soldier in the box. And get started with a free extended trial. And remember, you can cancel at any time. Product shown rated E through F. Gamefly also offers gift certificates for the gamer in your life. Save up to 20%. I love game. Earlier saved with Progressive. 5 people gas.
You're so kind. Thank you.
So I'll be out there sharing my savings with the people I meet. Now look at this one's Albuquerque. Saving it forward. Now that's Progressive. It's what days of velocity gets sent on great TV. Wish you won't believe. Flying classics off the jar. Think I need a fur. I like to bring you surprises.
Don't miss the 12 days of Velocity. 12 days of your favorite Velocity shows, starting December 22nd.
The footage captures a dark mass gliding across the floor while Luther remains oblivious to the intrusion. Moments later, the heavy door of a wall-mounted cabinet is violently wrenched open by an unseen force, ejecting an object onto the floor with significant impact. Luther reacts instantly, approaching the area to investigate the disturbance, only to find the cabinet empty and the item lying far from its original position. This aggressive poltergeist activity suggests a presence that is not merely watching, but actively interacting with the physical environment. If you witnessed objects being thrown by an invisible intruder, would you stay to document the next event? Tell us in the comments if you believe this is real paranormal footage. Persistent sounds of heavy movement and scratching coming from the space above the ceiling had been plaguing the house for weeks. Kyle repeatedly checked the attic, expecting to find a raccoon or a stray cat, but the room was always empty and undisturbed. Determined to catch the intruder, he finally set up a camera to monitor the area while he stayed below. What the lens captured during the dead of night simply has no explanation.
Rattling attic door. It's been a while, and I'm not going in there. Gosh dang it. I'm not going in there, y'all. I'm sick of this shit.
The footage reveals the heavy attic door rattling with extreme violence, as if an invisible force is trying to tear it off the hinges. Kyle captured the disturbance from multiple angles, showing the hatch lifting and slamming down repeatedly despite no one being present in the room. Skeptics might suggest a hidden line, but the sheer speed and weight behind the movement suggests something far more powerful. Having this kind of aggressive activity happening just feet above where you sleep is genuinely terrifying. How would you handle a presence that seems determined to break into your living space from the shadows? Let us know in the comments if you would stay in that house or pack your bags immediately after seeing this. The unsettling sound of heavy footsteps and unexplained scratching had been echoing through the house for weeks, leaving the owner in a constant state of high alert. Determined to document the escalating disturbances, paranormals began recording a routine walkthrough of his kitchen, hoping to catch the source of the noise on camera. The atmosphere in the room felt heavy, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath in anticipation of what was coming next. This was what he captured. The pantry door is suddenly and violently slammed from the inside by an unseen presence, creating a terrifying rhythm that shakes the entire cabinet structure. As he slowly approaches the moving door, a sharp, deafening burst of electronic static erupts on the audio track, distorting the recording as the energy in the room intensifies. He finally pulls the door open, only to find the shelves stocked with ordinary food and absolutely no one hiding within the confined space. While skeptics claim the movement was achieved with a hidden line, the homeowner maintains this has been a recurring nightmare. What would you do if your own kitchen became a focal point for such aggressive, scary footage? Late-night celebrations often lead to memories that last a lifetime, but for a group of friends out in the dark, one recording captured a memory they would rather forget. Leo was simply documenting the evening festivities with his phone, panning across the deserted grounds of what looked like a school building. The group thought they were alone, but the lens revealed a silent witness standing in the doorway. What it recorded in the background of their celebration is genuinely chilling and difficult to ignore. As the camera pans back toward Leo, a disturbing presence becomes visible, looming within the dark entrance of the school building behind him. A pale, immobile face stares directly through the chain-link fence, fixed in a predatory gaze that never wavers despite the noise of the celebration. Leo confirmed that the building was locked and the grounds were empty at that hour, yet this manifestation remains perfectly visible against the internal darkness. The stillness of the figure is what makes this footage so harrowing. It does not move or blink. If you saw a face watching you from a locked building, what would your first move be? Tell us your theories in the comments section below. Deep in the lush wilderness of Oregon, an explorer for ferns on TikTok embarked on a solo adventure to witness the raw power of the state's waterfalls. The dense forest air felt heavy as they approached the base of a roaring cascade, where the mist usually conceals everything. Instead of simple spray, the lens caught a motion that defies every physical law of the environment. What was captured in that secluded spot is truly unsettling, revealing a presence that should not exist in the light of day. An invisible presence is clearly visible beneath the waterfall, its translucent form mimicking the movements of a person crouching and bathing in the stream. While the water crashes around it, the apparition maintains a distinct silhouette, appearing to interact with the current as if it were a solid mass. This suggests we might be witnessing an entity or a residual energy trap, forever repeating the actions of someone who once stood in that exact location. The fluid, human-like motion of the shape is chilling, offering a glimpse into what might remain of our energy after we are gone. Do you think this is a genuine haunting of the wilderness, or just a rare trick of the moving water? Tell us your thoughts below. A TikTok user recently shared a chilling recording while reviewing security footage following multiple movement alerts at their residence. The camera monitors the front of the house during what should have been a quiet night. However, an unexpected presence soon shatters the peace. What the lens managed to capture is truly terrifying. Let's take a look at the footage that has left many viewers deeply disturbed. The footage reveals a horrifying figure lurking in the shadows, staring directly into the camera lens with long hair and completely white, glowing eyes. It remains eerily still, as if waiting for something, with only its head moving in a deliberate and unnatural manner. The intensity of its gaze suggests it is fully aware of being recorded. Seeing such a manifestation on your own property would be a traumatizing experience. What do you think this entity is searching for? Let us know in the comments if you believe this is genuine paranormal activity or something else entirely. The routine of a retail job usually offers little in the way of surprise, but for the staff at this local shop, the environment has become deeply unsettling. Workers have shared stories of objects falling without cause and unexplained sounds echoing from empty storage areas. One evening, the atmosphere shifted as the paranormal activity began to manifest in real time. A woman working on site managed to record the terrifying events as they unfolded. What her camera captured is genuinely difficult to ignore.
Nos encontramos aquí en mi trabajo. Al fondo se observa una cámara de refrigeración donde parte de la tarde se han estado abriendo y cerrando solitas las puertas. Hay momentos que se calma, pero de repente empiezan otra vez a abrirse y cerrarse. Me voy a mover para allá para ver de cerca a ver qué pasa. Nos vamos acercando a la cámara. Jorgito es uno de mis compañeros de aquí de trabajo. ¿Qué pasó, hijo? ¿Qué se cayó? Vean. Ahí ya empezaron a abrirse también. Vean, observen. Híjole. Vamos a tratar de no acercarnos, Jorgito, porque... Vean cómo se están abriendo las puertas. Vamos a ver de aquel lado. Ahí se ve cómo se están abriendo y cerrando. Toda la tarde ha estado pasando esto, e inclusive ya hay gente que se dio cuenta, clientes. Y híjole, la verdad sí es un poco temeroso. Ya le hablé a mi supervisor para que, vean, ya le hablé a mi supervisor para que viniera a ver esto que está pasando. No me cree, pero digo, quedó de venir, hasta ahorita no ha venido. Y no nos hemos atrevido a ir a la parte de atrás en la cámara porque pues nos da un poco de temor, ¿no? Porque pues esto es algo sobrenatural. Pero vamos, Jorgito, allá atrás a ver qué pasa. Vean. Vamos a ver qué pasa. Vamos a arriesgarnos a ir. Vamos a arriesgarnos porque a ver qué pasa. Esta es la parte de la entrada de la cámara. Vamos a ver qué pasa. O sea, ahora sí que... Ay, dijo, no sé si oyeron. Jorgito, ve a ver, hijo. Mira. ¿Sí? Veamos qué pasa.
The footage captures several heavy freezer doors swinging open simultaneously with incredible force, as if an invisible intruder is testing the locks. These are not the slow movements of a draft or a mechanical failure. The doors snap open and slam shut with a deliberate aggression that shakes the entire unit. There is no one near the machines, yet the glass panels move with a synchronized intensity that suggests a high level of supernatural energy. The staff remains petrified as they witness this playground for the unseen, unable to explain the physical weight behind the activity. Do you think this shop is truly haunted? Or could there be a natural explanation for these heavy doors moving on their own?
La verdad sí es un poco temeroso. Ya le hablé a mi supervisor para que... Vean, ya le hablé a mi supervisor.
We've seen a pale visitor in the woods, skeletal markings on glass, and a residual presence trapped in the cascade. Subscribe to Pale Playback so you never miss an upload, featuring more ghost evidence caught on camera. And the terrifying video already waiting on your screen right now? That one is even harder to explain. We will see you in the next one.